Hey, let's be back with another banger video. It's reacting video. Oh yeah. Wait, camera. I'm tired when I'm making this video. It's 12:14 in the morning when I'm recording this video. So the video that I recorded today, the GTA 5. This is a reactive video. So I hope you guys amazing Saturday afternoon. But when I'm recording this, guys, it's 12 a.m. and I am heading to bed right after this video. So yeah, guys. Today we're reacting to NHL of 25 official franchise. I know it's 14 hours ago. I was at work when this video happened, so I couldn't do it when it exactly came out. So I'm doing it today on this Saturday. So yeah, but yeah, let's get into the reactive video of NHL franchise mode deep dive, and we'll see what's all happening there.
Hey everyone, this is Baron Simul, Senior Game Designer for NHL 25. Today I'm here to talk to you about franchise mode. So there's a few new things going into franchise mode. Everything from a brand new streamlined hub, box scores, game logs, and split stats, contract clauses and CBA updates, revamped player and coach conversations, and some community requested tuning changes that we did. Over here,
Okay,
we have a
that's
brand new streamlined hub. It's a unique change from previous years.
That's pretty awesome.
To make less tabbing and surface more information for you as users to be able to get the most information.
Okay.
Make educated decisions. So you'll see a brand new quick links on the left-hand side here. Everything that's really important is shown.
I'm gonna move my
All
camera.
that stuff that needs to be done on a more regular basis is there at your fingertips. You'll also notice a bunch of new widgets that are on the screen. You'll have the projected goalie, which will show you the goalies that are about to start for that game, as well as on that right-hand side, a matchup widget showing you how you're matching up against the opponent you're about to play, as well as the conference standings, division standings, your team leaders from forward points, defense points, all the way down to rookie and goalie wins. And then you have your league leader stats as well.
That's pretty awesome, to be honest. Like, that's gonna be awesome for the new NHL 25. Like, it's coming soon, you guys, for NHL 25 coming out, and I'm looking forward. There is just box scores, so that.
Going into box scores will bring up all the games that are played in the NHL. So
Yep. So this is
games, or if you have a custom league, all however many games you've chosen to do. You can go to any game, not just your own teams.
not bad, not bad.
And select a game and view the box score for that game. I can view the events that are from that game, who scored, what penalties were there, as well as the stats for each individual player on both teams, and including the 3 stars as well. So you get a
That's pretty awesome, though.
Snapshot of every single game that happens in the NHL. And to feed into that stats motif that we got going on, we also have added new game logs and split stats for each individual player. So if I go into Elias Pettersson here, I can check out his full career stats, and you'll notice that there's a new filter that's shown here, which is full career stats. Now you got game logs.
That's pretty awesome, though, that they added that, though.
I can look at every single game that he has played in this year.
Vancouver. Just let you guys know.
From minutes, shots, goals, assists, points, the date of the game, and the opponent of the game as well. So you can see how that player is doing against every single team and on a per game basis. In addition, you can also see the split stats. So you can see their last 10 games, their home split, their away split, their division split, conference, and on top of that, their monthly and then their per team stats. So how they have done against Florida, how they've done against Edmonton, Chicago, etc. And then lastly, we've also added an awards tab to the player info, and you'll be able to view.
That's awesome, bro. I cannot wait for this NHL 25 to come out.
So it's not just the last
NHL 25 is coming out.
All that shows up on this screen for you to play and look at with throughout the course of franchise mode.
October 4th. Release date and early access. NHL is set to be officially released on October 4th. Players who purchase early access will be able to start playing the game on September 27th, 2024. This early access was confirmed by EA.
Whether or not a player will want to sign.
I'm gonna pre-order right now.
So if a player has a very low organization bar, you may need to convince him to actually join your team. Those two bars now dictate and change who you target in free agency, because it may not be possible for you to get the best free agent, because they may not like your organization because of the taxes that you have, the market size that you have, your status as a contender. If they want to be playing on a championship team and you're a rebuilder, they may not want to join your team. Now, you can offer them other incentives. You'll see promises on the bottom right-hand corner and player requests. Certain players will have requests that they would like to have, like playing on
That's gonna be awesome though.
power play or playing in the first line. You'll also be able to give out clauses. So you'll see that you can give out no movement clauses, no trade clauses, modified, no trade clauses. You can give out different structures, whether it reduce, full. It'll change the number of teams that you can or cannot be traded to. So we've added a lot of depth and a lot of fidelity to the contract negotiation engine that wasn't there before. I'll go into a player that doesn't want to sign with my team currently. Give you an example of what I mean in terms of you have to persuade that player. Now, Sam Bennett here doesn't want to join my team. You're able to do certain actions to potentially win them over. You can charm them. You can gain some organization interest if they take to it. So in this case it did, which is great. Now you can now talk about the contract or go into the organization and kind of pitch them on the organization. So if I go into here, I can now pitch him on the market size and the team status and persuade him into wanting to join my team and forego his expectation of preferring to play in a smaller market like Florida. So in this case, it's very risky to do so. It may negatively affect the organization, which may basically mean I'm out of the running completely. But if I do persuade him and it is successful, I can get him to join my team. So in this case, it's successful. And then if I go into organization, you see the bar go up to full. So now I have persuaded him into wanting to potentially join my team, which is huge. So he went from not interested at all to being persuaded into joining my team, and now I can go and offer him a contract. The first offer that you see here, the number of years, will always be what that player wants. You can go through and select different years. They may or may not accept a 1-year deal, so if you do select 1 year or 2 years, they may say, I'm not interested in that, and just end the conversation there. But if you go into the 4 years, they will let you go in and start negotiating. So negotiate will try to make a more team-friendly deal. So the higher your organization bar, the more likely you can negotiate a player down in salary. You can also improve the offer if you like. This allows you to add extra money, clauses, promises to your contract offer. So if I want to increase the salary here, I can increase it up by a lot or a little. So I'll add $2 million to a salary. But I can also improve the offer further by adding in a clause. So I can give them a full move, no trade, whatever it may be. I'm going to give them a full no move clause, as well as I'll promise them first line minutes. So he will more than likely now want to sign because I have given him the world. You can also table the contract as well. So if you think you've negotiated a deal with the player to the sense, but you want to try out and sign another player just in case, you can table the deal. There is a risk to this, obviously. If another team steps in and offers a contract to them, they may get taken and may sign with another team. So it's kind of a risk reward on your aspect of it too, whether or not you're willing to take that chance. So in this case, Sam Bennett accepts your offer because it was so good. I gave him a full no move. I gave him $2 million more, and I also gave him a first line promise. So he's now on my team. So I can literally convince him from not wanting to join my team to joining my team through the power of the conversation.
That's pretty cool.
So next up, with the addition of no move and no trade clauses, obviously when you want to go and trade a player that has a trade clause, you're going to need to figure out what team they can or cannot be traded to. So if we go into Aaron Ekblad here, you'll see he has a modified no trade clause, and you can go into the new contract info screen that shows you the trade clause, the years that are left on the trade clause, and the teams that you can trade that player to. So on the right hand side, there's a tradable team list. He can be traded to 20 teams, and there's 12 teams that he has a no trade for. So if I go to Anaheim or Boston or Buffalo, he is an eligible player for me to actually put on the trade block. If I put him on a team that he doesn't have a trade clause for, I would need to actually convince Ekblad to waive his no trade clause. So you can go into the proposed trade screen, select the player that you want to trade, and it'll automatically have you initiate a conversation with him. And you'll see that I'll have to persuade the player into waiving their no trade clause. If failed, which means I can no longer have lad be eligible to be traded to the Carolina Hurricanes. The other way to get them to talk about their clauses or their options is to actually go in through the new franchise hub. So if I went into Matthew Tkachuk here, I have different options to have him potentially waive his clause or change his clause for the year. I'm able to get him to maybe give me a list of 1 team, 2 teams, 3 teams, or outright waive his no trade clause. So I'm going to ask him maybe give me 1 team that he would want to potentially go for. In this case, he actually did. So now I can go into Matthew Tkachuk's player card and figure out who he actually wants to be traded to. Now you can see that he has a modified no trade clause. But going to his contract info, he wants to go to the Montreal Canadiens. So I can now add him to the block for the Montreal Canadiens, and then you'll be able to make a trade. The conversation engine allows you to kind of have a little bit of flexibility and how
That's
much
cool.
you want that player to waive, whether it be to fully waive their clause or to kind of select a certain amount of teams. It allows you to pick a riskier or less riskier option to give the player still some agency as well. Another new feature that we've added is our brand new conversation engine. You've seen a little bit of it in the no move, no trade, but we wanted to make every conversation feel important and have a meaningful impact on your team. So gone are the ice time conversations where players are complaining about things. It's now more of a proactive system where you are now assigning players goals or trying to make that player better or try to fit into your system as you need to. If I go into Raczynski here, you'll notice that there's 2 options for me to select from: season goal
That's
and
cool.
honest play. Each of these has their own subset of items that you'll be able to select through. For season goals, this actually influences player development, something that in the past you as a user didn't really have a lot of influence over. Now you will with season goals. So you can select a season goal. You'll have 2 options of short-term goals. So these are half-season goals. They're shorter goals and they give you less of a reward potentially. And then we have
Okay.
long-term goals, which allow you to perform a stat challenge, an award challenge, and an X Factor challenge. These challenges allow you to give a player potentially an X Factor ability, whether it be a zone or a superstar ability. Award challenges are asking a player to win an award, and by winning that award, they may gain attribute points as well. And then you have stat challenges, which you may ask a player to score X amount of goals, assists, or plus minus or block shots, and they will gain potential ratings impact onto themselves based off of completing that goal. Now, it isn't that it's a hard line, so as long as I'm close, he'll get some of that reward to passing, but he may not get the full amount. So it is really forgiving in that sense, but you do want to get as close as you possibly can to that marker to help influence that player. So in this case, I'll set a goal to have him score 40 assists, and then once that's in there, you'll be able to check out the goal in the morale screen as you sim through a season and you look at their stats and see how they're doing. Now that I've assigned a player goal to that player, I can also go into the on-ice play and potentially have them change their play style or their position. You'll notice on the upper right-hand side of the screen that you have something called adaptability. Every player has adaptability rating. This adaptability rating allows us to control how likely a player will potentially adhere to being able to change to a new playing style or a position that they play. The younger the player, it'll actually make it a little bit more easier for that player to be a little bit more malleable and a little bit more easier for them to learn that new play style or position. So an older player will be a little bit more set in their ways and may not be able to switch to that position or play style, but true to real life as well. So in this instance here, we're able to look at these 2 options of play style and position. I'll select to change his position. He'll give me options to be either straight up, change him out of left defense. I can move him to right defense as well. These are both persuades and they have different factors that weigh in. So in this case, I want to add a secondary position. To lower his defensive awareness rating, the harder it will be to convince him. If I want to change his position, players with higher defensive awareness rating will be harder to convince. So players that are really good at defense, they probably don't want to move out from defense. But if the player has a lower defensive awareness, you may be able to get them to change to a forward. Here I'll ask Raczynski to change his position. So in this case, that persuade failed. In many cases, the persuade may or may not work, but you do have the ability to change a player's position and play style. It all has a multitude of different factors that go into it. Again, we really wanted to give you as the user the ability to have more fidelity, more control over the players to fit within the system that you're trying to build. So, in addition, you can also talk to your head coach. You can talk about your preseason or your game plan for the team. And these essentially are buffs to your team that you get for the season.
whether it be conditioning, strength.
Oh, my thing says 14 minutes.
5-on-5 focus, power play.
Oh, I guess it was 17 minutes.
Video assessment. So all of these will have different buffs and debuffs. I've selected power play. This will give my team a buff for the power play, but also have a debuff on my penalty kill. So in this case, I got him to adhere to that preseason focus. I can go back in and talk to him also about the game plan that he has, so we can talk about preferred lines. He is locked until the regular season, and I'll get into that as well. Ice time allocation is also locked until the regular season, but this will allow you to allocate whether or not you want your team to roll 4 lines, 3 lines, top heavy. It allows you to kind of manipulate that and have the best possible situation for your team. So now that we're here in the regular season, I'm now able to chat with my coach. So if I'm in the line screen, I can hit the Y button to go into strategies and then bring up the coach card from here. I can go into this meeting availability and then chat with the coach about their game plan. So I can now talk to them about the preferred lines or ice time allocation, as that's no longer locked. That can get them to potentially change those things. So in this case, I want him to reorganize or lock players into certain lines. I can now do so. I persuaded them into being open to it. If in the instance where it fails, you can still force the coach to go through this flow. You will lose morale as a trade-off, but at the end of the day, you are the GM and you hire the coach, so you are able to brute force your way through it. So in this case, I want to look at my forwards and I want to have my line 2 center be Elias Pettersson. So if I go into line 2 and center, I can now.
That's pretty cool though.
Elias Pettersson as
I know I didn't pay attention to the most because I was looking on my phone and all that. So.
And then if I go into the line screen again, you'll notice that when I hit best lines now, those players should now.
You know what? I'm freaking tired.
You now see Elias Pettersson and Jake DeBrusk in that role. So if I move Pettersson down to 4th line here and then hit best lines, it will always lock them into that line. So if he gets hurt and
come on, y'all, give me support and everything like that.
Into the right spot. So you can lock all your lines exactly how you want it and really help the usability for playing with injuries on. So you're able to have your lines always constructed in the way that you want them, and the coach will make sure that they do best lines in that manner. It is quite a cumbersome thing, so this is our way with the power of the conversation engine to allow you to actually lock in players into those lines. Another feature that we added to really help the roster.
I thought it was done.
Was the addition of draft picks to the player movement screen. Now you're able to trade 5 years worth of draft picks.
That's pretty cool though.
Movement screen to keep up with the real world as you're
Man, I'm really tired.
So in this case, I can trade
Holy fuck.
first round pick.
But hey, I'm making a video for you guys for scheduled Saturday video for y'all.
You're able to upload this roster file to roster sharing, and then you'll be able to have others download it with the correct graphics, and you can start your franchise mode when the latest trade comes out and you're waiting for the roster update. You'll be able to make the adjustment yourself and then go into franchise mode and start your franchise mode for your team. That's a big change there, as well as we've added a few more elite potential prospects into the draft. Make the league as you get later into later years, refresh that player pool, have the overall be around the same amount as well. So we added a lot to franchise mode this year. We had a lot of fun working on the game, and we can't wait for you to pick up early access on September 27th.
Yep. So if you pre-order now, you guys will be able to play NHL 25 on September 27th if you guys pre-order it. So go pre-order NHL 25. I am about to pre-order it because I want to play on next week Friday, which is today. That's Saturday now. So basically next week is NHL 25, you guys. So yeah, I cannot wait for this. And yeah, I cannot wait for it. But yeah, guys, amazing guys this day. Hit the like button, subscribe, do yourself, and yeah, I'm going to bed after this video, and yeah, see y'all tomorrow. Peace. See you guys on Sunday. Whatever I'm doing, I think NBA 2K25. So yeah, peace.